I just started a game. Okay. Since we are recording. Welcome to some Kumena. Hope you're excited. We're playing against the Boogeyman. Nice little special commander guest. As far as opening hand goes, yes, I love it. We have 3 visits. We have Imprisoned in the Moon. And it's actually pretty good. We have Cold Eye and Prophet of Krufix, so I'll definitely take that. Hopefully we don't lose pretty bad. I always enjoy playing against the Boogeyman, and I'll kind of explain that here in a second. So have the Boogeyman pass the turn over to us. We'll make the land drop for the turn, and then we will go from there. See what we draw into. Draw into a Simic Signet. Let's go and get down the Misty Rainforest, and we'll go and pass the turn. We're playing Kumena. Tap another untapped merfolk you control. Can't be blocked this turn. Tap 3 M's you control. Draw a card. Tap 5 M's you control. Put a +1 counter on each M that you control. Playing against Jhoira, the Ghitu. 2 colorless, exile non-land card from your hand, put 4 time counters on it. If it doesn't have suspend, it gains suspend. Let's go and crack the Misty. Let's go grab that breeding pool, have it come into play tap. That way we'll shock it in later. Nope, not going to pay 2 life and kick it back over to us. I'll be online for 3 visits, so we'll see what we kind of draw into. But at least we'll still be able to kind of technically make the land drop. Let's go get Mutavault down. Let's go for 3 visits. See if we're walking into a counter spell or not. Hopefully not. I'd love for this to resolve to make sure we can get our lands going, but hey, looks like we might be. Memory Lapse. Counterattack spell, put it on top of its owner's library instead. Okay, that's fine. It goes on top, and we'll pass the turn over to our opponent. So we cover both commanders. It's free time. We can talk about whatever we want. That's going to be the Boogeyman. We'll talk about Kumena in a second. Yeah, the Boogeyman. So basically, it's kind of like, I play a lot of Magic Online. As you can tell, I record a lot of videos, and I do different stuff like that. I play an ungodly amount of Magic Online. So, unfortunately, I don't have a lot of time to go to my local gaming store. So, what ends up happening is you kind of start to know some of the people who play primarily Magic Online. And the Boogeyman is one of those people. And so, in fact, I first started to remember the Boogeyman. I was going to get down the Tropical Island. I think that sounds good. And then we'll go and pass the turn. So what we can do is we can go for Imprison on the Moon on Jhoira. And if I'm saying that wrong, I do apologize. Sometimes I just get a word stuck in my head and then we roll with it for the whole video. So if you're cringing right now, I do apologize. But yeah, we may end up going for that. If our opponent goes shields down, we'll see. It's going to be a little bit hard, but we'll give it our best. But yeah, so the Boogeyman, he's always has really good decks. He or she has really good decks, and I always enjoy it. It always makes for a really good match. And in fact, the Boogeyman has a Gitrog deck that is just brutal, just nasty. Let's go and get down the Simic Signet. And I always talk about it, but it's kind of like if you play at your local gaming store and you have a friend that you normally don't see a lot there. They're basically just your local gaming store friend. I consider the Boogeyman my Magic Online friend in a roundabout way. We both enjoy some good Magic. All right, so your opponent's going to go for the suspend counter off Jhoira. Destroy target artifact. Do we add some mana in response to that? We will for sure be online for Prophet of Krufix. I feel like we're going to walk into a counter spell. Yeah, we'll just go and let that resolve. That's fine. Unfortunately, that's going to cut us off Disallow, but we'll make it work. And the cool thing about Disallow is once they get the suspend going, what we can do is we can disallow a suspend counter. Now, it doesn't really help us that much. What it will do is at least just buy us another turn. So, in effect, let's get the suspend counter popped up. Sorry about that. Had a little bit of a hiccup for a second. There we go. Get that up. That way we can kind of keep track of that. Opponent's going to be swinging in for 2. And then we can still go for Imprison in the Moon. But, we can't just sit this whole game and just be scared of a counter spell. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's go for... Well, if we go for Worldly Tutor, our opponent might know something up. Let's go and jam Imprison in the Moon. We're going to go for that on our opponent's commander. That's going to be blue, 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 and it's still going to leave up Worldly Tutor to go for. We'll see if this sticks or not. And basically, with blue-red, it's going to be hard for them to deal with Imprison in the Moon unless they have a bounce spell or if they have a counter spell to stop it. So we'll see what they have to show for this one. They could be simply suspending 2 different things, too, which is also something that they could be going for if they don't have an answer for it right now. Into the Royal. Return target non-land opponent to its owner's hand. If it's kicked, draw a card. Okay. So that's going to fizzle. That still puts us online for Worldly Tutors. There's something we want to go for that at this point right now with our opponent being shields down. We're not going to be able to get the land drop for the turn. Let's just go and pass the turn. We could use Worldly Tutor in a spot to where if we finally do get a board state developed, we get a few more merfolk out there. We can grab one of our Island Walk Merfolk. It's going to allow us to start pushing in past that, and then we can simply do it near our opponent's upkeep to kind of chew up some of their mana. Okay, opponent's going to go for Impulse, main phase, 2 mana. The main thing is, I would love to hit the, I would have loved to put that on top, but, or go for something with Worldly Tutor. I'd really like to get Prophet of Krufix down. That would be absolutely wonderful. That kind of puts our opponent in a little bit of a bind, or at least puts a little bit of pressure on our opponent. Okay, let's see what we're drawn to. Drawn to Shrine, wonderful. Let's get that down. Let's go for Prophet, absolutely wonderful. We do have to watch out for Force of Will, so that might be a thing, but at least it sticks. It's going to allow us to start casting some of our creatures and get some good untapped mana. Okay, looks like we're good to go. We're going to kick it back over. Our opponent does have Electrolyze coming down in 2 turns off the Suspend. Once again, we do have Disallow to kind of counter the suspended ability. Or if our opponent does go for the 2 mana activations, we can actually counter it with the Disallow ability. So I'd like to leave up Disallow and go for the Commander, but I think at this point, yeah, we can go and go for that. Let's see if we can't flash in Kumena. Or we could go for Cold Eye. We don't have that much devotion at this point. Yeah, let's go and go for Cold Eye. It's going to go green. Tap down Mutavault. See if this is good. If they counter it, they counter it. This still puts us online for Kumena, which is not too bad. Lightning Bolt in response. Okay. And that will put us offline on any sort of counter spell. Yeah, that's fun. Guess we're going to have to get it. Yep. I'll get down Cold Eye. At least we get to flash that in. And at this point, do we want to go for Worldly Tutor at the end, at our opponent's end step to force some sort of counter spell? Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and go for that. I feel it's going to be our best use of it. We go for Kumena next turn, and we'll draw into whatever we need to. Let's go ahead and go for that. We get a little bit of extra damage. We can grab one of our Island Walk creatures. Even though it does have Island Walk, we at least want to grab one of our Lord creatures to give it an additional bonus. Let's go ahead and grab the Harbinger of Tides. Return target tapped creature to its owner's hand. It's not tapped. Do we want to go for the... We're going to go for the Master of the Pearl Trident or Lord of Atlantis. Either way, I think functionally it's the same. We'll go for Lord of Atlantis. Let's start adding some good devotion to Shrine. All right, so it's going to go on top. We're going to be able to draw into that next turn. That will put us online for Shrine, some good devotion. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll at least be able to tap out for that. See what our opponent's going to go for. It's going to be 1, 2, Cyclonic Rift. Okay. And see, this is what I'm talking about. It always ends up being just a really good, if you're a fan of Magic, it's just really good back and forth between the Boogeyman. So he or she has some really good decks. And in fact, since they did go for that, let's go ahead and go for Cold Eye. And then tap down Shrine. No, we're going to tap down the Mutavault. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and pass the turn. Yeah, that turn, we actually should have, with Cold Eye, either way we have to tap down. We've been out on a little bit on actual colored mana, because this can be 1, 2, 3. We need 4 colored sources to actually get that down, so that would have put us off on that. Opponent's going to be tapping out for 3 total mana, Supreme Will. Look at the top 4 cards of your library, put 1 in your hand, the rest on the bottom in any order. Oh, that's, yes. So Supreme Will, I knew there was one card that I really enjoyed from Amonkhet that I never put into any of my decks, and it was Supreme Will. So I need to get that. I want to make a note of that. There's just, sometimes as these new sets get released, there's just sometimes where you kind of forget. Like you come across a card and you're like, yes, I want that card. That's going to be really good. But then you forget about it. All right, opponent's going to get the Electrolyze coming offline, and we'll see how they split it up. More than likely, they're going to get, Cold Eyes off that, and then 1 up top to us puts us down to 24. The good thing is, this looks like it's just kind of good stuff. Our opponent's deck is good stuff. I've seen some different builds of Jhoira where it's just like Eldrazi Titan stuff, and that is fun, but it's the suspended gets going really quick. Next thing you know, you've got Eldrazi Titan coming down. And our opponent's really getting some really good card advantage going too, especially Dak Faden, stuff like Supreme Will, Impulse are really digging deep in their library. So hopefully we can kind of outrace some of this stuff. And they discard Slagstorm and then Wheel of Fate. Opponent's going to go for Jace. All right, setting the tone. Okay, opponent's going to go for the Brainstorm with Jace, and then I think we're getting to the point now that we're going to be a little bit outclassed at this point right now. But we're still going to give it our best though. Like I said, always enjoy a match. Make sure you got to be on your toes. I mean, there's no slipping here or there against the Boogeyman. Opponent's going to be swinging it for 2. It's going to put us down to 22. 6 total commander damage. And then, yeah, I think at this point we just really need to start building up our devotion. So if we hit a land drop for the turn, drawn to polluted delta, wonderful. Okay, we don't have haste. Let's go ahead and crack the polluted delta. Grab another island, put that onto the battlefield. So at this point we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to be Lord of Atlantis and Kumena. I'd like to save Tempest Caller. That puts us in a spot where we might be able to kind of push past our opponent. Yeah, I like that. Let's go double blue off the Lord of Atlantis. And what we can do is we can fire up Mutavault, and that's going to take care of Jace. I think I like that a lot better than going for, yeah, I'll do that. Let's go and fire up Mutavault. Get on Lord of Atlantis. It'll be a 3/3 body. We'll be able to take care of Jace. Yeah, I like that. I thought about going for Kumena, but I feel this is a little bit better use of our resources. Let's go and swing in at Jace. Take care of Jace. And then we just really kind of have to fight off Dak Faden for the rest of the game. All right. Swinging in for 3. Adios, Jace. And then anything else. Now we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. So, next turn we're getting on Kumena. That's going to be at least 3 blue devotion. We do miss out on the devotion from Cold Eyes being in the graveyard. But after that, we can get down Tempest Caller. And once we go for that, we'll be able to tap down Jhoira. And that's going to allow us to hopefully get enough pressure on our opponent. You know, between Lord of Atlantis and the Tempest Caller, we're at least going to be able to swing in with Island Walk to kind of take care of those creatures too. So that's another thing we need to keep in mind is that Island Walk. Opponent's going to go for Temporal Manipulation. Take an extra turn after this one. And once again, we did not leave up, yeah, there's just, it's kind of a battle of resources right now. It'd been nice to leave up Disallow to kind of go for that, but taking care of Jace is pretty much what we got to do on that one. Because even if we don't get down the Lord of Atlantis to get that plus additional bonus, it's simply a 2/2, and that still leaves Jace online to still go for that Brainstorm. All right, opponent's going to be kicking back over there, take an extra turn after this one. That will be able to plus up Dak Faden. That's going to put it at a -6 ability. They will be able to go for that. Now, if our opponent does go for the -6 ability off Dak Faden, we do have Disallow. So we can't go for Disallow to go for the -6 abilities. That's something we can kind of watch out for if we want to catch our opponent off guard as far as going for that. So that's definitely something we can go for. But if not, we do have the Island Walk next turn. So we'll kind of see what they kind of have to show for it. Okay, there they go. Kick it back over to us. Yeah, we definitely want to leave up Disallow on at this point right now. Do we want to fire up Mutavault? So we fire it up. It's going to be a 3/3 body. We can swing in at Dak Faden. Yeah, I think I like going for that. That kind of forces a little bit of action from our opponent. Well, yeah, let's fire up Mutavault. It's going to be a 3/3 body. And then if we swing in, then we can kind of see how we want to kind of divvy out the rest of the turn. Let's go and push it with Mutavault at Dak Faden. We're going to get rid of that -6 ability. And that way, if our opponent does have some removal and they use it on Mutavault, that still allows us to kind of catch them off guard with the Disallow off that one. Okay, opponent's going to be tapping out for 2. Let's get the graveyard popped out just a little bit more. Going to go for Fire on Lord of Atlantis. Okay. So we go for Disallow. That's going to counter that spell, and it still puts us online for Dak Faden. If our opponent more than likely going to end up going for the +1 ability, draw 2 cards. Yeah, let's go and Disallow on that one. You know, even if we kind of wait until next turn for our opponent to, you know, maybe they go for the -6 ability, who knows? More than likely, our opponent's just going to keep going for the +1 ability just to really get that card advantage going. So I like going. And then plus we just knocked it down with Dak Faden. Okay. Anything else? We're going to go and pass the turn. Now that does put them at 2 cards in the hand, so they didn't use a counterspell. Maybe they might be holding on to it, but maybe they've run out of resources. And then next turn we can kind of get some good stuff going. Finally get down Kumena, kind of roll out Gilded Lotus. What we can do is roll out Gilded Lotus first, kind of go for a counterspell test. That way we can start building up some of our mana back up, and then get down Kumena, and then hopefully we'll have 3 Merfolk on the battlefield. Then we get in this weird spot where we might be able to start tapping enough to get some good activations going. Okay, let's see if our opponent, what they're going to go for. Make the lane drop for the turn. But you can see, yeah, it's turn 11. It's 29-21. The game's not, you know, over. We've just had a lot of good back and forth, and it's just kind of, I don't know, it's always enjoyable. So that's kind of, just kind of going back to the Boogeyman talk. That's, there's a few other people that I remember from online too, but primarily the Boogeyman. That's One of my good buddies. All right, Obliterate. Can't be countered. Destroy artifacts, creatures, and lands. They cannot be regenerated. Okay. Nothing we can really do about that one. All right, it's going to clear the board out, and we're going to be left with Dak Faden. So let's see what we draw into. Telling you. Boogeyman leaves it all on the battlefield. And then we draw into Riverwise Augur. So we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. Hopefully we can start ripping some lands. Basically just kind of went for a reset. I mean, our opponent does have Dak Faden. They can get to the ultimate quicker than we could stop it. But at this point right now, whenever you cast a spell that targets one or more permanents, gain control of those permanents, if they have some sort of some more kind of hoodwink or gain control stuff, that's something they can definitely go for. But some good magic right here. Turn 13, all we have is Dak Faden. Dak Faden on the battlefield, just like Richard Garfield intended. I normally don't like to use that comment because a lot of people use that phrase a lot. But in cases like this, where it is turn 13 and there's just an island Dak Faden, I feel like we'll go and use it. Okay, drawn to command tower, and let's go and get that down, and we're going to go and pass the turn. But, in as far as stuff like Obliterate, is it fun? No. But, hey, it's just like, I don't know, it just makes for a fun match. All right, Post going to go for draw 2, discard 2. Like if you use my play group and Obliterate happened all the time, but it's just kind of like I know with the Boogeyman, there's going to be some pretty strong matches, and it's just, hey, anything goes pretty much. All right, drawn to Metallic Mimic. We're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. Kick it back over there. And they're simply just going to keep digging through their library with Dak Faden. They're going to go for the they do go for the -6. Get that online. So we do have to watch out for something that's going to bounce it back, because basically, yeah, the -6, whenever you cast a spell that targets one of our permanents, gain control of them. Okay. Hit another land drops. Get the Yavimaya Coast down. Let's go for Metallic Mimic. It's better than nothing. Let's go name Merfolk on this one. Slowly rebuilding that army. All right. And they'll pass it back over to our opponent. Now, as far as us getting out of this, we have the Harbinger, which is going to be another tutor that we can go for. Search our library for a Merfolk card. If we can find, not Lord of Atlantis, but the other 2-drop Lord, I'm escaping my name right now. Anyway, we can get that going. That's going to allow us to start pushing past our opponent. Hopefully we can stop Dak Faden. That'll be good. It is at a +2 right now, so we'll see what they have in the hand if they can stop Metallic Mimic. Worst case, we'll at least be able to swing in and take care of Dak Faden. But once we get that going, we might, between getting Metallic Mimic down, getting an extra +1 counter on Kumena, and searching up the other Merfolk Lord, we might be able to maybe get commander damage. We'll try. We'll see at our best. But we'll see if our opponent has any sort of removal, though. Okay, so this is some post-edit commentary. I accidentally hit the mute button on my mic, and I never hit unmute for about 4 minutes. So I wanted to go back through here and just kind of go through that. Basically, our opponent, they went for Is It Charm, targeting Kumena, and they gain control of it. And then they get the commander down. Now, as far as we get down Ristic Study, which is always nice, and then next turn, we end up going for Marrow Regery, or not Regery, whatever, the Tutor Merfolk, and then our opponent, you're about to see right now, they end up going for the Mystic Confluence. So we're about to jump back into when I realize my mic is. I just didn't want to have a silent video. Okay, and then actually, I do apologize. I think I muted the mic for a second to hiccup real quick, and I realized I don't think I turned it back on. So if you're just now hearing, if I sped the video up to this point right now, I do apologize. I'm not going to scrap the video because it's been good so far. All right, opponent's going to go for Gamble. There we go. Yes, we're going to use that ability. Get another card draw going. Draw in the Catacombs. Okay. And we'll see if they're going to discard off of that. Yeah, I do apologize. If the video sped up at this point right now, I hit the mute on the mic button to cough, and I didn't realize that I didn't turn it back on. So I do apologize about that. I just sped it up. It was probably just, I don't think it was muted for that long, so not the end of the world. And plus, the video's been good so far, so I don't really want to scrap it at this point right now. All right, so opponent's going to be swinging in for 3. It's going to put us down to 7. And we've got some good stuff in the hand. The main thing at this point right now is, do we want to... Our opponent went for Gamble, and they got rid of Pyroblast. I would assume that Pyroblast is what they gambled for. I bet that's it, because they wanted to get rid of Ristic Study. Okay, so let's go and get down Cavern of Souls. Draw the Simic Charm. Get in the Cavern of Souls. Let's go and name Merfolk on this one. And we drew into Simic Charm. So, permanent to control, gain hexproof, return target creature to its owner's hands. Let's go ahead and do this. Since we do have the Simic Charm, we can go for that during our opponent's turn. Let's go for the Deep Root Waters. Yeah, I like that. Sweet. 1, 2, 3. Get down the Deep Root Waters. And then we're going to go and pass turn. I already made the land drop for the turn. We can go for the Simic Charm, return target creature to its owner's hand. So we'll be able to bring Kumena back to the hands and then hopefully get a few more Merfolk going. I think that sounds pretty good. I like that. Okay. Do we want to force this now? You know, yeah, we don't have a counterspell. We don't have time to wait for a counterspell. Let's go ahead and go Simic Charm. Return target creature to its owner's hand. Return that. That's going to be blue and then green. Return Kumena back to the hand. And we'll see if they do have a counterspell for this one. All right, Kumena goes back. It's going to stop that, kind of stop that hemorrhaging, that bleeding out. And then we'll see if our opponent has enough to kind of go ahead and pay for the Rhystic Study. Dream Halls, rather than pay the mana cost, may discard a card that shares a color with that spell and cast it. Okay. And we'll see if they tap out for that Rhystic Study. They only have 2 cards in hand. All right, and they did pay for that. So now with Kumena, we can actually discard... well, we can actually use Naturalize on that. Oh! All right. Dang it. Yes, we're going to use that ability, but it doesn't matter. Rhystic Study. Oh, Enter the Infinite. Man, I thought we were going to get this one. Okay. Opponent's going to draw cards. They'll be able to discard some... Oh, that's brutal. 1 card left in library. We'll see what they have to show for it. Oh, that's... Man, we were sequencing. We were slowly getting away from that. Draw card. Deals damage equal to the number of cards. Great game, man. Great game. Great game. Great game for sure. Yeah, we don't have a counterspell. Yep, that's it. Oh, that's a bummer. All right, Rhystic Study. We'll get that card. Maybe we draw into another counterspell. Who knows? See if our opponent pays for 1. Yes, we're going to use that ability. We might. Draw into Growing Rites of Itlamok. Okay. So Master of the Way. They're going to deal a bunch of damage to us and close it out from there. But we were slowly going to start working our way back out. We had Kumena coming back. We had Deep Root Waters. We had Riverwise Augur coming down. Could have slowly got some good merfolk going. But unfortunately, our opponent's going to close it out, and I'll take that, man. That was a good game. I definitely enjoyed it. So if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.